Good morning from the heart of New York City. This is Food School Smarter, Stronger, Leaner podcast dedicated to one thing to learn and apply to eat better daily. I'm your host, Angela Shurina from Create Yourself That Today, your personal nutritionist, your personal health and wellness coach, your personal fat loss guru, your personal food detective, and food educator, and just someone with a lot of passion for healthy eating, healthy food, nutrition, everything and anything we put on our plates and in our mouth in order to hopefully feel good, look good, and perform amazingly well, physically and mentally. Today, I'm still speaking from the heart of Siberia, where I'm from and visiting my parents for now till October 13th. By the way, among a lot of people think that it's cold all the time in Siberia. But an interesting fact, Siberia is one of the places where you have the most difference between winter temperature and summer temperature, meaning that it can get as hot as 80 and 90 degrees in summer, and it can get minus that, I don't know what it is in Fahrenheit, but in Celsius, basically, in winter, it can get just as cold, minus as it is hot in summer. That being said, summer is very short, and our winter is probably around 6 months. And also right now, for example, it's actually 65 Fahrenheit or around 20 degrees during the day. But in October, we're probably going to have some snow already. So that's a little bit about Siberia. Today, guys, we are talking about practical things, very practical. I'm often asked by a lot of girls and women who I train or who just see me in the gym, how do I get that lean? How do I build lean body mass without getting bulky? And there are a few factors, but a lot of girls, a lot of women look puffier and not as muscular as guys, not because necessarily their hormones are don't allow them. Even though we have different hormones, but women are just as capable without any drugs building muscle mass as guys, even though it can take a little bit more time. But a lot of girls have troubles, a lot of women have troubles building lean body mass and staying clean because, one, a lot of girls go, when they're trying to get lean, they go on a low-calorie diet, they restrict their calories, and they start eating that, rabbit kind of diet with a lot of greens, a lot of vegetables, maybe a lot of fruits, but they don't focus on protein, and as a result they're getting really little amount of protein needed to support and build lean body mass. So basically a lot of women, a lot of girls are under eating protein and underestimate the role of nutrition in their lean body mass and building lean strong bodies. So girls, whatever it is your weight is, my advice: in pounds, your weight, get the same amount of protein in grams. So for example, if you are 130 pounds, get 130 grams of protein. It might sound like not a lot or a lot maybe for some people, depending where you're coming from. But again, a lot of women, a lot of girls, when they're trying to get lean and building muscle and getting lean at the same time, cut protein intake. And that basically tells your body that, well, we are not getting enough nutrition. We don't have that luxury to build our muscle. We better use it for energy because there is not enough nutrition. Basically, what I'm trying to say, girls and women, a lot of you are not eating enough protein. That's as simple as that. And you go on some rabbit starvation diet when you cut your vital and essential for life fatty acids and amino acids that is protein, and you go and eat that rabbit diet, overeating carbs that you don't really need, and there are no essential carbohydrates except, fiber is kind of questionable for health and longevity. But still, eat your protein and stop being on a rabid diet. If you look at my social media, my Instagram especially, that's where I document most of my food, my FitnessPal app, you'll see I eat a lot of protein. I eat a lot of animal foods, not like humongous amounts, but enough to support lean body mass and building of lean, strong body. On getting bulky, you're not going to get bulky even if you train with a lot of weight, unless you're eating a lot of food, unless you're overeating, and unless you're eating a lot of carbs, because it's very actually hard to get lean and bulky, building muscle and putting on fat if you're not eating carbs. If you're on a really low carb diet and most of your food is protein and fat, it's almost impossible really. If you train hard and eat whole foods, protein rich, fat rich, and reducing your carbs a lot, and by a lot I mean less than 50 grams a day from good sources, then it's almost impossible to put on fat. Like really, the problem is a lot of people who get big and strong and bulky, the women or guys, you're just eating too much food and too many carbs. That carbs are obesogenic compared to fats and proteins. They tell your body to store fat for energy. That's just out of the question. And also girls, a lot of women, a lot of girls, again, you're afraid of heavy weight because you're afraid to get bulky. So you combine this rabid kind of diet where you don't eat enough protein. You combine that with using really little weight. Like for example, compare, my weight right now is 125 pounds. Like when I'm really lean, it's 120 pounds. And my body fat percentage is somewhere around 10%, usually. And I do leg press with 200 kilos. So I'm not a big person, but my legs, I can do 200 kilograms. And a lot of girls I see working with like 50 or even less. And I'm like, how are you supposed to build any muscle? You see, for your muscles to grow, they need to get a signal from your training when you lift heavy that you need to grow lean muscle mass to lift heavier weight, to endure more. If you don't challenge yourself and working with that, 10, 15 pound dumbbell all the time, and you're not training your legs heavy, you're not going to have lean legs ever. Like, and again, combine that with rabid diet, that is like disaster. I don't even know how you expect any results, really. Some people, like a lot of women I see do that again, rabid diet with, low carb, under eating protein, and then combining it with lightweight, and a lot of women expect to get lean and strong. It's just not gonna happen. There is no magic in that. Yeah. So training heavy, eating enough protein. You need to do that if you want to have lean and strong body. But then, guys, it doesn't mean that you need to eat 350 grams of protein, drinking shakes all the time. That can actually make you fat, because if you're consuming a lot of amino acids, especially from shakes, really fast absorbed amino acids and protein, your liver, when you have an excess of it, and 350 grams is an excess, your liver gonna make it into fuel, into glucose, and it will raise your blood sugar, and yes, it can make you fatter. 300, I just told a few guys to increase their protein intake, and they started eating like 300, 400 grams of protein, drinking shakes all the time. Like, are you trying to be like 200 kilos yourself? Even if you were trying to build that amount of muscle, you will not build it in a day. If right now you are somewhere around 170 pounds top, you should be eating 171, like 190 grams of protein from whole foods, not from shakes. And that's just, from one extreme to the other. None of that works if your goal is to be lean and strong, having great fitness and great health and low body fat percentage, healthy body fat percentage. And the third thing I wanted to talk to you about is a lot of people ask me also, like, why are you so positive? How are you, smiling all the time? Even though, in my life also there are trouble, there are stresses. My business doesn't grow as fast as I want it to grow, I don't get, as many clients as I want to get, like a lot of troubles, in everyone's life. But I'm always positive and I'm always smiling, and it's not artificial. I'm not trying to seem that way. I'm naturally positive, but I wasn't always like that. You need to understand that your happiness, your positivity is biochemistry, meaning the cocktail of different chemicals that circulates in your blood and goes to your different organs, brain included. And so one example, for example, serotonin is one of the hormones, 90% of which is produced in your gut. That's why it's important to have a healthy gut. Serotonin gives you a feeling of well-being or peace. That's just how it is. They did studies, and people with higher serotonin levels, and you have receptors for serotonin, people with higher serotonin levels are happier and have this feeling again of well-being and peace overall, and I forgot what it is, but basically people feel happy, right? But for example, for your body to produce enough serotonin, you need to have amino acid called tryptophan, and that is the precursor for producing serotonin. And tryptophan is an essential amino acid that you can only get from food. Your body cannot produce it, and it's missing in probably 99% of processed foods. You can get it from foods like eggs, for example, and poultry, and some fish. So what I'm here to say is, if you're not getting it, forget about feeling happy. It's just biochemistry. And if your brain doesn't get certain chemicals from your food, certain amino acid or other chemicals, then it's not able to produce the hormones that make you feel happy. And our emotions, our feelings is not some metaphysical concept. It's actual biochemical cocktail that circulates in your brain. And your biochemistry depends on the foods you eat. That's why people who eat processed food and never get what brain needs to produce serotonin, or gut needs to produce serotonin. That's why people who eat processed food all the time feel crappy and feel depressed. It's no wonder. It's no magic. It's not because, processed food is evil and makes you feel unhappy. Not at all. It's just you create biochemistry in your blood that doesn't allow your brain and your body gets the chemicals your brain needs to create happy feeling. As simple as that. Again, if everyone, ate for breakfast 3 eggs and a can of sardines, our world would be much happier place. And I'm not kidding about that. Look up omega-3 fatty acids. Look up tryptophan that you can find in eggs. Look up, salmon and sardines. The nutrition profile of these foods, and you'll find that a lot of those foods have the compounds your brain needs to create and get serotonin to make you feel happy. So, to recap, today we talked about how women and girls have troubles to get lean, building lean body mass by eating rabbit diet, under eating protein, and training with light weights that don't give muscles the signal that they need to grow. It's no wonder, marathoners, people who run marathons or endurance athletes, they're not big people. They don't have a lot of muscle mass. There is a reason. Weight training is the training you need if your goal is to grow muscle mass. End of question. End of question. Like, no discussion. Another thing, guys, don't get crazy. Nobody needs 350 grams of protein a day. It will make your health worse, and it will contribute to your fat gain and higher blood sugar levels. Eat normally. Stop drinking those shakes like protein is going out of style. So this is the second thing. And third thing, Happiness is a biochemical cocktail circulating in your blood. And that biochemical cocktail depends on your food a lot. So certain foods, yes, make you happy. Not because they're magical or created by Mother Nature and they somehow holy and I don't know, but because of their nutritional profile that allows your body and your brain that evolved on food, on natural foods that were alive or growing at some point, because your body and your brain evolved consuming those nutrients in those foods, and a lot of processed foods miss those nutrients. Plus, even if those nutrients are added, your body cannot recognize them and digest and assimilate properly as it can natural foods. That's the problem with processed food, and that makes people depressed. No magic, just biochemistry and nutrition. If you have any questions about being happy, eating to feel happy, shoot me an email to angela@createyourself.today. If you're a female and trying to build lean body mass, also shoot me an email and I can create a program, nutrition program and workout program that for sure going to make you leaner and stronger, not bulky. And if you're a guy, stop drinking protein like it's going out of style. But in any case, shoot me an email to angela@createyourself.today. Rate this podcast on iTunes if you loved it, like it, so more people get educated about nutrition and health and get happier, stronger, leaner, and smarter. And till next time, thank you for listening, guys. Love you all. Eat better daily.